You say.
No, I don't want you say.
No, faster, you say.
Okay, never mind, we say together.
Welcome to SheSaid, let's talk.
Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back to SheSaid. I'm Chloe.
I'm Emma.
And today we will be discussing about pretty privilege and the unfair advantage that pretty privilege comes with. I don't think so. But I think I've seen some people or some girls get away with
Share some.
certain things just because they're pretty. They do something wrong, then like they are reprimanded less harshly just because they're pretty. Or as compared to a girl who is like average looking and everything. But then again, I think pretty privilege, this thing is very grey. What do you think is pretty privilege?
I think to define pretty privilege, it would be just any sort of unfair treatment just because you find one person more attractive, but in the other person less attractive, like you find them less attractive. And I think it's something that we have to acknowledge that, you know, being pretty can open you some doors.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's still unfair to women who don't have these opportunities or like advantages.
Yeah.
Like even though
so.
it's a known thing that, you know, when you're pretty you can like get away with things, or like when you're pretty you can get free things. But the unfair part comes from people who don't have it lah.
I think so.
Yeah.
So like they will feel discriminated in a sense.
And it's just because they don't fit into like societal standards of beauty, which is completely unfair to them.
I think it depends. I feel like it is a privilege in most scenarios. But for situations where people get to make choices, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with like guys choosing prettier girls over like girls that they don't find as attractive. You get what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I do think there is a privilege because there are certain scenarios where like I don't know if this is a legit thing, but I do hear of people saying that like, oh, they land the job because they're prettier as compared to other interview candidates and everything, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of a normal thing. Like people just tend to lean towards things that are more visually pleasing to look at rather than, you know, something else. But that comes with unfairness lah. But I feel like that's very different from like, let's say a pretty girl and a relatively average looking girl were to do the exact same thing and they get different treatment. I feel like you can get perks for being pretty, but I feel like it's not right to like treat someone worse just because they're not attractive. I feel like it's very hard to have like the privileged side but then not have the downside of, you know, average girls being treated unfairly.
Yeah. So it depends on what people define as pretty privilege. Like to my knowledge, right, the most closest to pretty privilege thing is probably like being invited to an event that is exclusive. Like exclusively to those that are invited only, then okay lah, that's the closest experience I have lor. But it's like, do I get free things? Not really. Free drinks lor. I mean, if you're invited to let's say a club event, then you get free drinks.
I think for me personally, right, the biggest pretty privilege that I probably experienced throughout my entire life is that people don't say no to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like any kind of weird questions or weird requests I might have, they will always just say yes to me, even if it, you know, inconveniences them.
Like a waiter?
No, not just that. Like anybody.
Oh.
Yeah. Like teachers, an exception.
Oh.
But like anyone, if I'm like asking for help and it's like a really troublesome thing, right, they would still say yes. Yeah. Or if I have like a random request, I've just never really been told no. I feel like that's just the biggest pretty privilege, but I've never really like been side by side compared with another girl and have been treated completely differently from her.
I haven't either, honestly speaking.
It's the only time I might have been treated differently compared to another girl is like, let's say this guy likes me, but that's a different thing, what? Like if you like somebody, then obviously you're gonna treat them nice. It's not about like you finding the other person ugly or whatsoever.
But people can like you because you're pretty, ma. You get what I mean?
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that's like
Like
pretty,
if like this
privilege.
guy hang out with you and this girl on equally close terms, and he like you because you're prettier than the other girl, then that technically is considered pretty privilege already, what? Like it's not like anymore, what? Because
I guess.
but we need to go and ask the guy why he like you lah. You get what I mean?
But if the only difference is just that I'm prettier, then yeah lah, that's pretty privilege lah.
Actually, I feel a lot of prettier girls than worse guys lah.
Actually, same.
But I agree with that they have more options because
Yeah.
I mean, be it a guy or girl, right? You will always want to go above your league. You know, nobody dates downwards, ma. People always date upwards, ma. Yours is by choice. You get what I mean? Like you have a lot of options to go upwards, downwards. Because as a pretty girl, you have that option. But
Yeah, continue.
so that's why I say that I feel prettier girls have like more options. Because if let's say I'm an average looking girl, the guy that like want to date me are probably guys that depends on how what do you define as like dating pool lah. If you were talking about like dating pool in terms of like apps, then definitely on apps the prettier girls get the privilege of like being swiped by guys, right? Yeah, but does that mean that they land better guys? I don't think so. I think at the end of the day, you land what guys, you choose what guy lah.
Yeah.
And I have seen average looking girls being with guys that are considerably better than them in terms of like society's standards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, I feel honestly speaking, they are not really like better at dating. Yeah, but they do definitely have more options than as compared to an average girl.
I feel like pretty girls are not better at dating. I feel like they might be worse at. Not as like a bad girlfriend, but in like a choosing man type of way.
Yeah.
Because they're so immune to like people trying to get close to them, right? That like it kind of dilutes the whole like feeling of, you know, talking to someone and getting to know somebody, because they always feel like these people are getting to know them because they think they're pretty, or like they just want to slide into their pants.
Actually, yeah, I feel a lot of like the problem that pretty girls would face, right? It's not being able to differentiate like genuine interest versus intentional.
Yeah, that's true. Because, and I feel like in the long term, right, it kind of breeds like a certain type of fear in them. Like they don't know how to like trust people who actually want to get to know them, because they feel like, oh, but there's so many people who are trying to like, you know, just take advantage of me because I'm pretty, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of also adds on to, you know, a kind of struggle for them. So it's not just like unfair to, you know, a certain group of women and whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean the unfairness would probably be like if let's say you're already in a relationship, right? I do think that, or I do feel that there might be some guys out there that treat their girlfriend differently. Like if let's say their ex was very pretty, then their current girlfriend not as pretty, they might have the difference in treatment. What? You get what I mean?
Yeah. But I don't think it's completely about like how they look also. It can be like a various of different reasons, but I feel like that could be one of the reasons. Yeah. Because if they feel like, oh, if I feel like guys are just, they think like this. Like they're very, very rational about how much they should invest in a girl, right?
Yeah.
If they see that, oh, you look like Ariana Grande, right? They're gonna be like, wow, I want to give you everything that I have. Like my entire life is yours. But then when it's like an average girl, then they're just like, especially if it's like back to back, then there's like a comparison. Yeah.
I think talking about the how pretty privilege also includes like pretty girls having the privilege to mess up and not get reprimanded for it, right? I also heard of this saying before, but they say that like some guys say that the prettier you are, the more entitlement you have to go crazy.
Oh my god, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I've heard it a lot also. And like I think I've been, you know, for like just
Categorized as crazy.
yeah, but then at the same time, like nobody ever like really points it out as like an issue. You get what I mean? Like they just let it pass. Like they just be like, oh yeah, she's a bit crazy. But then they're never like, oh my gosh, she's damn crazy, like you better run. Yeah. Like nobody says that. Like, I have been put in that position where, you know, I realize that it is pretty privilege, and I am getting away with something that I shouldn't be getting away with. But I am because they think I'm pretty. Yeah. Which is a bit crazy lah. I feel like, as in, you know what they say, what, like, if you want to find a handsome boyfriend, right, then when you guys fight and you look at his face, you won't even be angry anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's very natural for humans to, like, want, like, something they like looking at. You get what I mean? And it doesn't mean that, you know, it has to be someone that is very, very pretty. It can be just, like, your taste.
I agree with that because I mean, if I'm in a relationship with you, first and foremost, I must like your face. What?
Yeah.
If I don't like your face, then you won't even get to open your mouth, man.
Yeah.
Like and people, when it comes to dating, right? If let's say you were to wake up beside this person, you won't get a shock of your life when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's anything wrong with like pretty, not pretty,
Yeah.
liking somebody who's prettier.
Yeah.
That
I
is
don't
life.
think- yeah. That is really just life lah. But like I feel like this whole pretty privilege culture thing, right? It greatly affects women's like self-worth and like insecurities that they have of themselves. So like if let's say I'm like a SG 5 out of 10 and you're like a SG 8 out of 10 and we do the exact same things and I get scolded for it because I'm not as pretty and you just get away with it, I will always have this like scar inside me that, you know, I don't want to mess things up, or I'm really, really afraid of messing things up because I feel like people can just like, you know, mess my relationship up with them so easily. Whereas compared if I were to be prettier, like they might actually think twice about saying whatever they want to say to me.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, in a scenario, if let's say two girls, right, crack the same joke, but then people only laugh at the prettier girl when she said it, then obviously it will make the less pretty girl feel like, oh,
yeah, like is it me? Is it
yeah,
me?
is it like is it me? So it affects like their view on like self-worth and everything.
Yeah. No, and I think the bigger issue, right, is how it affects like a woman and woman's relationship. You get what I mean? Like if we are friends and I like, let's say you have a friend and you know you guys are constantly being like you can tell there's a difference in how people treat you guys. Like would it not breed some sort of like comparison culture or like some sort of jealousy between you and your friend? Like I feel like that's very toxic as well.
It is. I mean, yeah, in every friendship, right, I'm pretty sure in every friend group there will be the prettier friend and the less pretty friend and whatnot. And to a certain extent, I would say that it isn't the less pretty friend's fault for feeling like she's always in competition.
Yeah.
But when you start to put yourself in competition, then there is like extra things on your end already lah. Then you will become the person that made it toxic, right? But then sometimes it's inevitable also lah. Like they cannot help but feel like they're constantly in competition with the prettier friend ma. I mean, for you, do you have any friends that like you fell out of because they made the friendship toxic because you prettier than them or something like that?
Probably. But it's always like a very competitive thing lor. Like it's not necessarily that they're just naturally just jealous of me or anything because they think I'm pretty. But it's more of like like when people like me and then they will be like, they'll feel, I wouldn't say insecure, but they'll feel unstable. Yeah. That like, you know, not as many people like them. But they don't understand that all these people, their intentions is just for all the wrong reasons.
Oh my god, yeah.
I feel like that's what a lot of girls don't realise. Like it's not all that good to, you know, be pretty or like have pretty privilege.
Yeah. Actually, I have this friend that once said something to me and then I felt that like I don't take it as a compliment. She told me, she said like, oh no, this was a conversation between me, her and our guy friend. And then the guy friend asked me, do you use dating apps? And I said, no, I've never been on dating apps. Then my friend just like said, you see, she don't even use dating apps and she still got guys to talk to. And then I'm like, it's not a compliment, you know.
Yeah.
It's really not a compliment. Like, having guys that comes to talk to me, right, isn't something that I'm very happy about, very, very proud of, or something that like I use it to like 炫耀 or to show off, right?
Yes.
It's really not that interesting or not that big of a deal because you would think that all of these guys are coming with an intention to want to
Yeah,
probably get your
something,
pants or something lah. Yeah.
Exactly. And there are a lot of times where I would rather be less attractive, or just like a very very like average person who just lives a very very average life. Because I feel like in that case, or in fact sometimes I even want to be ugly lah, let's be real, because I would know for a fact that people who wants to get to know me, right, they actually like me.
Yes.
And I don't
think
have
so
to deal
also.
with this like guessing, oh, does this person actually like me, or does this person just want to sleep with me?
Right.
And I feel like that is a blessing in disguise also, because people that you meet, right, you know for a fact that they like you. Okay, not for a fact, maybe sometimes they do want to scam you, but you feel a lot more loved for who you are instead of like how you look. I feel like, especially like to me, right, like the more people emphasize on like, oh, you're so pretty, the more I'm very like self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I have to keep up with this like
Image.
that, oh yeah, I am very pretty, I need to like look good all the time, but actually I don't even care about it that much. So these are like all the psychological impacts that it could have on you, whether or not you're on like that category or you're in this category. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. It will all affect you some way, somehow, and it's life lah.
Same. I mean, I genuinely wanted to tell my friend like, just take lah. Just take all my 桃花运 because I don't want it. Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
And like, as for somebody like me who I don't want a partner right now, right? All these are flies. You know what I mean? Like having guys buzzing around you is like flies. It's annoying, you know. It's not something to be proud of and happy about. So actually, you know when some girls like show off and say that like, oh, I got a lot of guys talking to me, then I really want to tell them like, okay, but it's nothing to show off about, my dear.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, personally for me, last time really got a lot of guys that I was talking to because I was available. Now I'm not available, not because I'm taken, but it's just because I don't want to be on the market at all. So all of this like can stay as far as possible from me. I would rather that. Yeah, and for girls who feel like they are less pretty, then they got like less privileges or less options, or less speaking rights and whatnot, right? I don't think that you should feel that way, because at the end of the day, like what she said, right? If let's say you were ugly today, you will know that this person like you is genuinely like you for your personality and like you for what is inside lah, rather than whatever is on your face. Because what if you marry this guy and then end up 10 years later you realize that all he liked about you was that you had a pretty face?
Yeah.
Then that's quite scary. What?
Honestly, the worst part is, right, a lot of times people don't bother getting to know you if they think you're pretty. You get what I mean? Like I've never really had like people, like a guy who finds me attractive asks me like, oh, so, you know, like, what do you think happens in the afterlife? They don't care about like what you think and your mind and whatnot.
Your opinions, your thoughts, your dreams, your goals.
Yeah.
They don't really care.
Yeah, they don't care about that, which is also very, very like demeaning in some way. As a girl, like I feel like I've invested a lot of effort in myself, right? And I go and like, you know, I take care of myself. I make sure that I know what's going on in the world, just for people to not care at all because they think I'm like a bimbo. Oh yeah, you get called a bimbo.
That's the downside of like pretty privilege or like being pretty. I think it's not all privileges sometimes. I think a lot of guys automatically assume a girl is dumb just because she's pretty. I've always been like, have people like speculating that I'm underqualified just because like I'm pretty. Like they just tell me that like, oh, you're so pretty, you confirm like don't come from a good school. Then I'm just like,
oh yeah.
or like you confirm your GPA not good. Then I'm like, huh?
Yeah, like why?
Just because I spend time here doesn't mean that I don't spend time literally doing work, right?
And just because, you know, like there's things to give on the outside doesn't mean there's nothing inside.
Yeah.
Like I have an interesting personality. I have like a mind. I have very strong opinions. Like why do you not care
You have
about
a lot
that?
to say.
Yeah. Which all these kind of things also add on to like a lot of stress on girls, especially for young girls. And to be completely honest, like I think this kind of privilege, right, it kind of like spoils you, and then at one point it just like drops you completely.
Yeah.
Because one day you're gonna like lose the beauty in that sense. Like you're gonna get old, you're gonna start wrinkling, and then you're not gonna be like perky and cutesy and like tight anymore. Then what? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And like a lot of girls who will like get very, very used to like this kind of privileges and like being treated with special treatment are just gonna like be so insecure about like all their changes. Which is why I feel like a lot of girls who like were pretty since young, right? They might turn to like a lot of plastic surgery and whatnot. Because they want to keep up with this, like they cannot stand the fact that they're losing this power.
Yeah.
When in reality it's not really power also lah.
There's only a certain extent to what being pretty can get you or where it can get you to and everything, because like when we mentioned in the beginning, pretty privilege does open some doors, but some doors cannot be opened just because you're pretty one.
Yeah.
Like there are literally
A
other
lot of
things.
useful doors cannot open one.
Yes.
It opens a lot of like can have, don't have kind of doors lah.
Yeah. Like the invitations or
Yeah lor, or like
access to somewhere.
Yeah. Or like you know that one friend who has like insane face card in the group who always gets them like free drinks at the club and whatnot, right? Like you really cannot afford to buy your own drinks, man. You can. It's just like all these kind of useless doors that beauty can open.
But at the end of the day, when we come to the adult world and everything in the working world, right, a less pretty but more qualified girl will probably land the role. Like, if I'm talking about serious business stuff, right, definitely pretty is not going to get you anywhere lah.
Yeah.
You're just going to be a flower vase in the office.
Yeah.
Then nobody's really going to care about what you actually put on the table
Yeah,
and what is your
exactly.
like capabilities and everything. Yeah.
And to be very honest, I would much rather be average looking but have like but I'm like super talented or like I'm really, really smart. I feel like that is way more impressive than like just being pretty.
Same.
And honestly, nowadays pretty you also can go and do plastic surgery what.
Yeah lor.
Like it doesn't mean anything lah. It really doesn't mean anything. Anything can change one. Just because you're prettier doesn't mean shit.
And I told her this before, I don't believe that there are ugly girls.
Yeah.
I don't
also
believe there are ugly girls.
Like I've never really seen a girl and thought to myself, wow, she's so ugly.
I have
Like
never either.
yeah. I've always felt like okay, if I don't like what I see, I would think to myself, okay, maybe she needs to like go and do something about her hair, like you know, she should go and like change her eyebrows. Like I have never thought like, oh my god, she's damn ugly.
To me, there was never a ugly. It was just average and pretty. Like I won't point a girl out in a crowd and be like, she's ugly, you know. I will only point her out because she's pretty, and then the rest are just average to me. Yeah, and let's be real lah. If you just clean yourself up, and then you know how to put on makeup, even the most like girl, like even a girl with like let's say not the best features can also like turn out to be a very pretty girl if she know how to groom herself well and everything, you know.
Can go and learn makeup.
You never see all the 变装 and the
all the
transformations
transition. Oh my
and the
God.
transitions. Yeah, if guy can change to girl,
Yeah.
less pretty girl also can become very pretty man. Yeah lor.
So I feel like there is no solution to this kind of issues one lah. Like people are going to be attracted to what they see, and people are going to be biased towards things that they find themselves attracted to, which is okay. But what we can change and what is within our power is to shift our values from like, you know, from like shift the value of our self-worth from looks to like character and like skills and ability and all these kind of things that you can actually change without plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. I think so. So and like building something that lasts lah. Like you can spend 60,000 on your face, but what if your face don't last 60 years, right? But as compared to if you read 60 books,
Yeah.
and then like all the information that you have, the knowledge that you have, all these are like much more valuable lah.
Yeah. And then another like suggestion is like, you know, encouraging each other in ways that are not just looks. I feel like a lot of times, right, like when we compliment other women, it's always, wow, you damn chill today. Wow, your hair so nice today. Wow, you damn pretty. Like, you prettier. Like, it's so meaningless. This kind of like very not valuable kind of like compliments. It doesn't really like do anything. In fact, it just like makes this beauty standard thing like heavier. Like maybe you can start by like, you know, hyping each other up. for like different things. Like, oh my god, you've been working so hard recently.
Correct.
Oh my god, you read a book. Oh my god, you're so cool. You know?
Yeah, I feel like you are so pretty, right? It's really a very valueless or invaluable, insignificant compliment. I genuinely like, be it coming from a guy or coming from a girl, right? That's probably not something that I would want to hear. I'll be very happy about hearing also. And like, being pretty should not be the top of your priority, like as a goal, I would say, because it has direct relation to your self-worth.
Yeah.
Because if you prioritize like how pretty you are and being very, very pretty as like the top of your priorities, right? Then obviously you're just gonna spend your entire life obsessing over
Being pretty.
Which
is not even gonna get you anything. If you can shift, like, you need to like rewire your brain in this kind of like situations, you know, like you need to like stop focusing on looks and just like put in all the effort into like building yourself up and like building confidence. It doesn't have to be becoming pretty. It's also like actually standing by what you believe in, like calling out like unfair treatments and whatsoever, like being able to like stand up for yourself. I feel like all this adds on to like building confidence, which is very important lah.
Yeah, and because like we said, pretty privilege will fade with age also lah. Every girl will get older, your face will not last that long also. Eventually you will look like every other average girl that's aging also. So when it comes to that point, as compared to somebody that really has more to show, right, and more to give, right, you will become meaningless also. So like, go to girl, legit, don't be so happy about like this pretty privilege thing.
And I think between girls, right, we should also stop like judging each other by appearances also. Because in that way, in that case, we are just like perpetuating the problem, which isn't good for anybody lah, to be fair.
Yeah, and this whole like pretty privilege being something that's horrible came about because of guys.
But then at the same time, we will also judge guys based on how they look, what? Like if an ugly guy come up to you, we also won't talk to him, what? Like if he's trying to hit on us.
Oh my god, I received a comment the other day. Somebody said that like if a ugly guy like talking to you, hitting you up is like harassment. But if a handsome guy do it, then it's flirting.
Yeah! Exactly, like I think women have this kind of expectations too.
Okay, so as a society, let's all be more inclusive and less judgmental then. I have never like not want to talk to a guy because he's ugly before, never.
I have
I got like, as in anybody say hi to me, I'll say hi back.
As in, yeah, I would be polite. But I would probably be like more, I would take more initiative in a conversation if the guy was somebody that I'm attracted to. Then compared to like somebody that I don't find myself attracted to.
Yeah. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
This is human nature.
Yeah, you see something you like, you are just going to be nicer to it. That's something that you cannot change lah. But that's okay. I feel like that is okay.
Yeah.
But like, treating somebody badly just because you don't find them attractive is not okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to have differentiation in like extra perks versus normal perks, but not like discrimination versus like compliment, you know? And at the end of the day, you need to know where to draw the line of like being overly judgmental and like just wanting better lah. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what's wrong with like a guy wanting better genes for his children?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's anything wrong lah.
Yeah.
Like, I also wouldn't want to marry someone who like I don't find attractive and then, you know, I have like an ugly son. I wouldn't want that one. So I don't think there's anything wrong with like, you know, being a bit like superficial when it comes to like relationships and whatnot. But just know that your self-worth shouldn't be based on like how pretty people think you are or like how attracted people are to you based on your looks. And at the end of the day, just always be yourself lah. And always be an interesting person because that is not going to fade away.
Yeah. I think so.
Having a spirit is not going to like age out.
Like being an interesting soul will be something more valuable than like however pretty you are lah. Because if your beauty is fake, then like money can buy that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like if being pretty is, you know, or if being not pretty enough is eating away at your confidence, or like it's eating away at you, or even if you're like a pretty girl and you feel like keeping up with the standards and like, you know, keeping up with this like image is tiring you out, just like relax. You know, like just be yourself. Because I will also always find myself like stressing about it. Like people always like tell me like, oh my god, your hair is so nice. And then when my hair is like really frizzy, right, I get so fed up. Like I'm like, oh my god, why does it have to be like this?
Yeah.
Like it's so normal for hair to become frizzy when you just wake up. You get what I mean? Like it's this kind of like things that subconsciously starts like affecting us and our mood and our daily life and our self-esteem, that we need to actively, and I actually mean like actively lah, like block it out. I block these thoughts out because it's not good for you. And so to all my girls out there, no matter how pretty you are, how ugly you are all very unique, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. And and for those that feel like you are not enjoying pretty privilege, right, I think you should be happy to know that every guy that approach you don't have bad intentions.
Yeah.
Or like every guy that tell you I like you, right, they probably really, really like you. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you should be happy about that lor.
Yes. And I feel, and there's always pros and cons to everything lah. So you don't have to be like jealous of like somebody having something that you don't. It might not always be that glamorous as what you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be, and let's be real, like if let's say pretty privilege really open some doors for me, or like get me invitations to places that I can go that my friends are not invited, I will just bring them along lah. Yeah. I'm very inclusive one, man.
Same.
We try our best to include as many people as possible. It's not like just because you are not as pretty, then I will like, oh, I don't want to be friends with you. Not like I choose friend is like, wow, she pretty enough to be my friend, you know?
Yeah, same.
I really don't think that. Like,
But I think when it
a lot
comes
of
to
girls are
friends, like I would also be more attracted to people who are attractive to me. I don't know why.
oh.
But I'm very inclusive when it comes to attractiveness. Like I don't always need you to look like how I think is a very pretty face. You get what I mean? And I'm like very, very face blind one. Like when I really like somebody, right, like I would think this person is like super, super attractive. Even if they look average. Yeah. So honestly, like it's all love. Pretty privilege does exist, and that's something that we cannot change. Nobody can change that. But don't let that define your worth.
Yes.
And only you have the power to let people define how much you are worth, by the way. So don't let that happen. Protect yourself. Protect your self-worth. And protect your peace.
Yeah, just be happy with yourself lah at the end of the day. I mean, everything leads back to self-love, right? If you have enough self-love and everything, you will not be bothered by what pretty privilege, this and that. Like honestly speaking, not like every event you have to be there also.
Yeah.
Or like not like every night out you go must have a guy come up to you and give you a free drink.
Yeah.
All these things are really not that meaningful, man, honestly speaking. Yep. So at the end of the day, beauty might open doors, but what allows you to stay in that room might not even be how pretty you are in the first place.
It will be who you are. And what's inside you.
Okay. If you had a chance, will you choose to relive life as a pretty girl or ugly girl? Or like a not so pretty girl?
Pretty girl lah. I still like admiring myself sometimes.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah, I think like that but you know, but I don't think that's the most important thing lah, and I don't think that's the most interesting thing about myself.
Yeah. I mean, from time to time, if I ever have the thought of like, I wish I was reborn again, it was never about like being prettier.
Yeah,
It was definitely about
Same.
like being in better circumstances.
Yeah, same.
I feel.
Same.
Yeah. Because there's so many things that I want to do that like, but I feel like I'm restricted by my circumstance. But it's never about like, oh, if I was prettier.
Same.
Yeah.
But I do find like myself comparing myself to like other people sometimes. Like, oh, is it because she's prettier? You get what I mean? But then,
yeah.
like those thoughts like go away quite quickly one. Like they will last like 30 minutes and I'm like, okay, whatever. You're prettier than prettier lor. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, pretty is just like surface level thing ma. At the end of the day, like when girls compete with girls, right? Or if let's say I find myself comparing myself to like my partner's ex, right? It will only be about the prettiness within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah,
And then after that, then I will like start to compare okay,
same.
is it because she's nicer? Is it because she has a better temper?
Yeah,
you know,
or is it because she's smarter than me?
yeah.
Yeah, like these kind of things. Yeah. Same.
That's about it.
Okay. So that's all we have to share for this episode. You can comment down below what you think is the craziest like pretty privilege you've experienced, or if you are an average looking girl, what is something that you have experienced that really made you feel like pretty privilege is such a insane thing. And if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel because I told you to, and I have pretty privilege.
Click the bell button, please.
Yes. And this is SheSaid Studios,
where we say what needs to be said
in our own ways.
Bye bye.